Hi friends, this is Monish back here with the brand new video in the channel Coding with Technical Monish. Yesterday, as per my words, I have created a live class on HackerRank. Network issues, the class got over delayed and I had to close the class. So, without any further delay in time, let us get into the HackerRank portal and let us solve some of the problems which is related to the first topic, input and output. So we'll be solving the problems related to input and output using Python today. So let us try doing the first problem now. So the first problem we have input and output automated system for greeting the new users. So here there are no input formats right as now, and just we need to get the output hello comma world. So I guess this is an easy one to do and get started with. So Yashwant has joined the chat. Hello Yashwant. And now let us try doing this using the code. So generally for printing any statement, we use print statement and inside print hello, comma, space, world along with an exclamatory. And now let us run the code. So so I hope the video and audio is clear now. Again I'm having the internet issues facing. So now let us get into solving the problems again. So for this first one, just we need to print hello world, and I have used the statements print statement, and inside double quotes we have used hello comma world. So the test case has been passed successfully, and now let us submit the code. Don't ask me again, and yes, submit the code. And now let us submit the code. Don't ask me again, yes, submit the code. Now the code has been submitted successfully, and we got 10 points. Now let us solve the second one in the same way. Now the code has been submitted. The second one is automated coffee machine startup with repeated humorous message. So let us try that again. So there are no output inputs format, and for outputs we need to print I need coffee to 3 times. So let us again use the print statement, and inside double quotes I need coffee to exclamatory exclamatory. So this has to be printed 3 times. So let us copy and paste them. So 3 times we have used it, and now let us run the code. So test case has been passed successfully, and now let us submit the code. So the code has been submitted successfully and we got 10 score. Now let us move on to the next problem. The next problem we have customer service system welcome screen. Try again. So you will be having solve the problem, but since I have already solved these problems, it is showing me try again. And also the link of this HackerRank portal, I'll be keeping it in the chat box. So you can join the HackerRank contest as well. So I'm pinning this, so whoever is watching can also participate in that contest. Now in this we have sample input. So we should take an input from the user of name, and output should be welcome and a tab space separating the word welcome and user's name. So similarly, so first we'll be taking creating a variable name, and it will be taking the input. So we'll be successfully taking the input from the user, and now we need to print the welcome message along with the name. So for it we need to use welcome, and in the input they said with a tab space. So for using tab space we have backslash t comma, and now let us run the code. So the test case has been failed. Our output is welcome with a tab space and Tamil Rasan, but the expected output is without any tab space. So I guess there must be an error with this tab space. So just let us remove this tab space and try. So run the code, and yes, test case 1 and 2 has been passed, and now let us submit the code. And now moving on to the third problem, we have completed third problem successfully, and now let us move on to the fourth one. Coming to the fourth problem, we do have student information management system. So let us try doing that. So here they said that we need to take name input, age input, and CGPA and grade, and after taking all those inputs we need to print with the name, age, CGPA and grade. So we can see the sample input here and sample output. So first let us take name. Name is an string, so just we can use input statement and get the name. Then next we have age. Age is an integer, so we need to typecast into integer and take the input. Next we need to take the CGPA. So CGPA is a float, so CGPA is equal to float of input. Now we need to take grade. Grade is a character, and for taking the grade we need to use the input statement, and in Java we'll be taking caret of 0, but in Python we'll be just keeping the array index 0. It means the first letter which we are entering, it will be taken into consideration. So now we have successfully taken all the inputs from the user. Now we need to print each of them. So we need print statement, and in print first we need to show name, name colon comma name, then print, and in print we need to print the age, age colon comma age. So better let us remove these gaps over here, and next we need to print the CGPA. So print CGPA colon comma CGPA. Next we need to print grade. So inside the double quotes, grade colon comma grade. So now let us try running the code. So if we run the code, our test cases did not pass. So this is our output, and this is the expected output. Everything got matched. Name, name, age, age, grade, grade. But the problem here comes with the CGPA. Here the CGPA they entered was 8, they entered 4 digits after the decimal, but the expected output should be having only 2 decimals. So for getting only 2 decimals, what I am doing is, so this CGPA after taking, I'm making another variable GP where I'll be converting it into integer. So I'll be converting it to integer and their CGPA into 100. So what happens is here the decimal point moves to next two places. It becomes 864. So here while printing I'll be taking GP and I'll be dividing it by same 100. So what happens now is this 8.6467 converts into 864, and while printing 864 gets divided by 100, so again two decimal places will be added, so 8.64 will become the output. Now let us run the code. So yes, after running the code, the two test cases have been passed, and now let us submit it. So all the test cases have been passed and we have successfully got 10 points in this question. Now let us move on to the next question now. So the next question we have user registration system. User registration system, and now let us solve this user registration system. So in this user registration system, what they said was they need to take the input age first and name next, and while printing it should print name first and age next. So first, as they are telling to take the age, let us create a variable age with int and input, int of input. So we are taking the age successfully, and now we will be taking the name using name and input function. So while printing, as per their required output, first we need to have user details. So let us just copy them and then paste user details. Then in the next print, we will be having name colon and their name. Then we will be printing their age. Print age colon comma age. And now let us run this code. So it is taking a bit of time. So the test cases have been passed successfully, and now let us submit this code. So we got 10 score, that means all our test cases have been passed and the status is accepted. Now let us go on to the next problem. Next one we have gym membership registration system. Gym membership registration system. So let us try this. So input is a string representing user's name, then a string representing the selected membership type like yearly, monthly or half yearly. So just we need to take two inputs from the user and then print along with the given input. So an easy one. So first we'll be creating a name variable and we'll be taking the input from there, and then membership, I'll be keeping it mem is equals to input. So we have successfully taken the input and now we need to print the details. So while printing, first here member name should be taken, member name. I'm just copying and pasting member name and paste it over here, followed by name. Then in the next print statement, we will be having the selected membership along with the variable containing it, mem. So now let us try running the code. So the code has been passed and both the test cases are valid. And now let us submit this code. And code has been accepted and we got a score of 10. Now move on to the next question. Next we have character analysis tool. Character analysis tool. So let us see this. So here they are asking the input should consist of a single character which must be an alphabet, lowercase or uppercase. Then it should give the output of its ASCII value. So as we know, the ASCII value of small a is 97 and small z is 122 and of capital A 65 and capital Z is 90. So let us try doing this. First we need to take the input of a single character. For that I am taking some variable like chr and chr equal to input, and since we are taking the first one we will be taking the index value of 0, so that only the first character will be taken into consideration. And now let us make a variable called code, and for converting each of the character into ASCII code we call that ASCII code as ordinal number. So we also have a function odd and of chr. Odd function of this variable will be stored in code. So now we need to print the statement of code. So what we are doing here is we are creating a variable chr and we are taking a single character input. Then we are converting that character into its code by ordinal function. ORD function is ordinal function which gives us the ASCII value of the given variable. So ORD of the given character will be stored in code, and now we are printing this code. And now let us run the code. So both the test cases are passed, and now let us submit this. So 4 passed, and yeah, all the 6 test cases have been passed and we got a score of 10. And now let us move on to the next one. This question is opposite of it, ASCII decoder tool. So what we did now was taking the character and giving it ASCII code, and now whatever the number is there it should be converted into that given character. So the sample input is 119 and it gave W. Then we have 65 as the input and capital A gets returned. So for this we just need to accept a single value, that is integer. So I am creating a code variable and in it int of input. So now we are taking the integer as an input, and now for character we will be taking something called as char. This char variable, what it does is we have a function chr. Chr function is opposite of ord. Ordinal number gives us the ordinal value of the given character, and chr function what it does is it gives the character which has the value chr of code. So we are taking the input from the user an integer number, and that integer which is stored in code is converted into character using this chr function. And now let us print this char. Now run the code. So we can see the both the test cases have been passed, and now submitting the code. So all the test cases are passed and status got accepted with score of 10. So we are more than halfway done for today's session of input and output. And now next one we have financial application for rounding values. financial application for rounding values. So what they are saying is we have to give the input of a float value 54.5 and it must give the output in three values. The first one is the integer part, the next part we have round up using seal and then round down using floor. So the given number we just identify, we need to identify the integer part, then we need to round it up to the upper value using seal, then we need to round it down to the lower value using floor. So this also looks somewhat easy, and for using this seal and floor methods we need to math import math library, import math, and now we need to take an number. So num is equals to, since this is a float of input, so successfully we are taking an number from the user. Now the integer part, so I am taking a variable integer, then we need to have the round up, r up, then r down, r down. So r up is round up, r down is round down, and for integer, so for converting it into integer we just need to typecast int of num. So the whatever value, for example if 99.99, the 99 integer part will be stored in this integer variable. And now for using the round up we have the math function math dot seal, math dot seal. So math dot seal is what it does is, if whatever value is stored after this decimal, it increases one integer to this given integer part. For example, if you take 99.99, it makes it into 100, and for this 54.5 it makes it into 55 using seal. Generally for a room we do have seal and floor. Seal means the upper part, so the number will get rounded off to the upper part, and floor what it does is makes it to the least value, the least integer it has. So math dot seal of num, and for rounding down math dot floor of num. So this is the logic behind this. So we are taking the float input from the user, converting it into integer, then converting it into steel, then flooring it, and now we need to print these statements. So printing, first we need to take integer, then we need to print round up, then we need to print round down. So now let us run this code. Okay, we need to change the value here, teacher. So yeah, there was an error while printing. I just printed int, but the variable name was integer. So yeah, both the test cases got passed, and now let us submit this code. So the status got accepted and we got a perfect score of 10. And now let us move on to the final part of today's session. The final one, input and output mathematical operations calculator. So let us try doing this. So here the input, what they are saying is a floating number pointing the first number, a floating number representing the second number. So the sample input is 25 and 3, and the output should be the square root of first number is 5. First number raised to the power of second number is this absolute value of first number, absolute value of second number. So absolute value what it does is it converts the value into absolute. If it is minus 20, it converts into plus 20. So first we need to take two floats as input. So let us take A, float of input, then B, float of input. So successfully we have taken the two float values from the user, and now we need to print four statements, and the first statement should be square root of the first number, and next print statement must be first number raised to the power of second number, then print statement of absolute value of the first number, again print absolute value of the second number. So we have successfully printed the statements, and now for these values, to get the square root of numbers, again we need to use the math method. So again let us import the math, import math, and for this square root we will be using math dot square root function. So math dot sqrt of a. Since they're asking the square root of the first number, we need to use math dot square root of a, the first number. Then first number raised to the power of second. First number raised to the power of second. So a star star b. So this star star is an exponential operator. It means a is the base and b will be the exponent. So they are asking the same. First number raised to the power of second number. So this is the first number and it is raised to the power of second. And now for getting the absolute value, we do have the function abs, absolute, absolute of a, and here absolute of b. So we have matched all the sample outputs with this logic, and now let us try running this code. So I just clicked on run the code, and boom, both the test cases got passed in the first attempt, and let us submit this. So you can see it is still processing, and yes, the status got accepted and we got a perfect score of 10. So that is it for today's class. Hope you enjoyed this session. So we have completed the 10 problems related to input and output, and in the next class we will be going to the second page where we will be working on the operators. So operators also contains of 10 problems. We will be doing these problems related to operators in the next class. So hope you enjoyed the session. If you do enjoy the session, make sure to subscribe the channel and share this video with your friends who is learning the Python. Also don't forget to use the link which I have shared in the description and in the channel comment box, and try to participate in this FOP course 1, and we would be having a friendly competition, and right now my current rank is 806. So do as many problems as possible, but don't cheat yourself using AI. Use your own logics and try solving them, and try to get in the top 1000 rank. See you guys in tomorrow's or next video. Till then, keep studying and practicing. Till then, goodbye.